So then also you will not be seen until and unless you uh, you speak. Okay, let us switch off because
Now we are keeping it online now. We are going online.
let
It
Vedika
is,
share the screen.
yeah, it is online now. You are online. You are live now, Rashmi. You're live now. Please.
हाँ सगीर आ जाओ।
अभी इसका आवाज क्यों नहीं आ रहा मेरे को किसी का भी? मेरा डबल क्यों आ गया इसमें?
Hello. Sir, could you able to share now?
सर वो नहीं आ रहा अभी भी।
Sir, you are the co-host.
हाँ, पर उसमें मैं वही मैसेज भेज रहा हूँ आपको, स्क्रीन पे जो मैसेज आ रहा है, होस्ट डिसेबल्ड पार्टिसिपेंट स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करके आ रहा है अभी भी सर।
Sir, you are a panelist. You are a
पर इसमें
panelist.
मेरे को राइट नहीं आ रहा है सर उसमें। मैंने अभी आपको स्क्रीनशॉट भेजा है इसका।
जी जी
जी सर। अभी आ गया है सर, शायद अभी हो गया है। हाँ सर, विजिबल है ये।
हाँ
राजीव सर, कैन यू सी दिस?
हाँ सर, अभी आपका फेस आ रहा है।
अच्छा, मैंने अभी स्क्रीन शेयर किया था।
हाँ, अभी आया था वो आया था, आलोक कादरे इज शेयरिंग द स्क्रीन, वो
हाँ,
मैसेज
मैं
आया
एक बार
था।
फिर करता हूँ, एक बार फिर करता हूँ सर। नाउ कैन यू सी?
यस सर, यस सर, यस सर, परफेक्ट परफेक्ट।
ठीक है सर, तो मैं इसको अनशेयर कर दूं फिर मैं।
जी जी।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
हेलो।
सर नमस्कार, हार्टी वेलकम टू यू।
हाँ हाँ जी, नमस्कार
जी
नमस्कार।
जी जी सर।
चलिए अभी
नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून
नमस्कार
सर।
नमस्कार नमस्कार जी आलोक जी, सभी को नमस्कार।
जी
जी
सर।
सर।
आलोक जी ने प्रमोट कर दिया हमें, तो अब हम आ पाए इसमें।
अरे सर, आपका, आपकी दुआ है सर।
चलिए, बहुत अच्छा है, आप लोग अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं सब, तो बहुत अच्छा है। हम हाँ, नमस्कार नमस्कार, थैंक यू। राजीव जी का फोटो नहीं आ रहा है, राजीव जी वीडियो आपने।
सर मैं एक्चुअल में फोन पे हूँ, साथ साथ एक फोन जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स के फोन आ रहे हैं ना,
अच्छा
थोड़ा
अच्छा
उनको
अच्छा,
गाइड करता जा रहा हूँ कि आप नया उस पे ले लो, जैसे
ठीक ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। ये लिंक मैं भिजवा दूं क्या स्कूलों को मेल से?
जी सर प्लीज उसमें
मैं
डलवा
मेल भी
दीजिए।
करा देता हूँ, मैं एक
हाँ
मिनट
जी हाँ
मेल मेल करा देता हूँ, एसएमएस करा
जी
देता हूँ।
जी सर जी सर।
राजीव जी का फोटो नहीं आ रहा है, राजीव जी क्यों?
Namaste, good afternoon, everyone. I wish you a very hearty, happy new year 2021 to one and all present today.
A very good afternoon, ma'am.
It is said, coming together is a beginning, and coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. Said by Henry Ford. Sahodaya, a concept literally meaning rising together, came into being in the year 1986 to facilitate synergy of ideas among the schools of CBSE for excellence in education. As Sahodaya Schools Complex, we voluntarily come together to share our innovative practices in all aspects of school education, including curriculum, design, evaluation, and pedagogy. The mission of Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR, is to achieve quality benchmark in school education, widen skills, and educational research to organize empowerment programs to improve the professional competency of teachers, encourage healthy interaction and mutual appreciation with opportunities for students to work with each other and to raise a winning network of schools and to create mutual and enduring value. The vision of Sahodaya Schools Complex MMR and OMMR is to grow together using the best integrated platforms shaped through a united decision-based environment, convergence of minds, broadened learning perspectives, and enhanced network of resources and guidance. Since the inception of Sahodaya Schools Complex MMR and OMMR Mumbai in 2009 to the present day, various efforts have been made to provide the right type of guidance and opportunities to all the schools associated with the complex in Mumbai, Thane, including Navi Mumbai, Palghar, and Raigad districts. Regular meetings and workshops are conducted to ensure an exchange of information and ideas, to appraise the work of educational institutions and to offer suggestions for the implementation and betterment of the same. Continuous professional development is a planned and a lifelong process. Teachers strive to develop their personal and professional qualities, reinforce existing skills and practice, as well as learn new ones that aren't covered during teacher training, leading to their empowerment. It allows teachers to build on their interaction skills and learn strategies for helping the students to achieve their full potential and hence contributing to the improvement of their services, the development of their organizations, and bringing quality in education. Quality education in school and its environment is among the priorities of Central Board of Secondary Education, as they play a pivotal role in the development of the country. According to National Education Policy 2020, all students at all levels of school education should be taught by passionate, motivated, highly qualified, professionally trained, and well-equipped teachers. It envisages teachers as the most important members of our society and the torch bearers of change. The success of any effort to foster quality education is dependent upon the quality of the teacher, and for this, NEP recommends 50 hours of teacher training every academic year for continuous professional development. One of the major objectives of the training unit of CBSE is to organize such capacity building and empowerment programs to upgrade the professional competence of teachers. The board is committed to make provisions for various training programs for teachers and principals to enhance their understanding of curriculum and delivery mechanism and other professional qualities. To further discuss the issues related to teacher training, we have gathered here for a webinar on implementation of training policy, practical insight. Greetings to one and all. With heart-touching feeling of warmth and pleasure, let me admire with gratitude your presence to this webinar in the interest of the entire education fraternity of Maharashtra. It gives me tremendous contentment to welcome all the esteemed personalities who have contributed immensely and won accolades in this education field. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Let us connect our souls with Almighty. Over to you, teachers.
Good afternoon, everyone. गणनायकाय गणदैवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि चतुराय गाणप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदेवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलक्षेत्रे गुरुधर्म सदाराध्याय गुरुपुत्र परित्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्ड खण्डकाय साराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतपोत्राय धीमहि बोधकुल्भाय गन्धवल्लाय भोजयप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि Thank you so much. Ganpati Bappa, Moria.
Thank you, teachers, for a wonderful presentation and creating a wonderful environment. On behalf of Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR Navi Mumbai, it is a glorious moment to extend my warm welcome to our most eminent guest of today's August gathering, Mr. Tarun Kumar, Head CBSE Center of Excellence, Pune. A dynamic officer of CBSE known for his efficient working skill, he has served as regional officer from Trivandrum and Bengaluru region during 2018-19. He has in-depth knowledge of administration, academics, and examination. His experience of working in many other organizations like Delhi Mill Scheme, Telecom Regulatory Authority, Ministry of Defense, and Election Department has influenced his administrative skills par excellence. His strong belief in God and his work blended in technology and divine thoughts have guided him in nurturing his colleagues and helping them in attaining knowledge, brotherhood, and service. As Head Center of Excellence, Pune, he has taken several initiatives to bring innovative changes in the functioning of CBSE COE Pune. By introducing YouTube channels, Telegram channels, and discussion forum, he started a process of knowledge transfer involving large number of subject experts across India, resulting in empowerment of teachers, resource persons, and principals. He is a mentor, a true guide, and above all, a very caring person, always looking for improvement in the teaching learning process, using innovative ideas, technology, and sharing the best practices. We heartily welcome you, sir. It is said, true education is all about progression, not examination. Let me introduce Mr. Rajiv Kumar Garg, President, Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR since 2009. He is a principal of Datta Mege World Academy, Airoli, and city coordinator for CBSE schools for Mumbai and Navi Mumbai. Throughout the 28 years of careers in educational administration, Mr. Rajiv's efforts have always been towards 360-degree development of students, not only scaling them in academics, but also imbibing core values and vital skills into their profiles. Almost 3 decades in education management, worked in various capacities as teacher trainer, director, manager, principal, and HOD teaching mathematics. Passionate about quality in education and traveled to Europe and Singapore to study their education system for preparing the young minds to face the challenges of 21st century. He was a team member of Working Group for Quality in Education and accreditation certification in schools for Quality Council of India. Master trainer for teachers training on various topics like subject competence in mathematics, classroom management, assessments, life skills, gender sensitivity, upholding ethics and integrity for CBSE schools, besides conflict management, curriculum design, time management, and so on. The list is quite long. He is also a passionate graphologist. He is also recipient of IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj Award for Excellence in Education. He has also been awarded with various titles and awards, including Education Excellence Award, Active Principal Award, Saraswati Bhushan, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Award, and Jewels of India for distinguished services in the field of education. I extend my heartfelt gratitude and warmly welcome you, sir. Mrs. Ranjana Jhangra, Vice President, Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR, Mumbai. She is currently working as a Principal BK Birla School, Kalyan. Mrs. Ranjana Jhangra completed her education from Delhi University. She is working in the field of education for last 28 years and has worked at different type of schools at different positions. She is the master trainer and has conducted many workshops and training sessions for teachers and students in mathematics, classroom management, value education, ethics and integrity, and so on. As an examiner for IMC Ramakrishna Bajaj Award, she was the member of Quality Assurance Committee at IMC Mumbai. She is self-motivated, positive, and quality-driven person. She has won many accolades in her professional life. To name few of them are Performance Excellence Award in Education, Innovative Principal, Roll of Honor by various renowned organizations of national repute. She has been a part of various panel discussions in various educational conferences. I extend my gratitude and a hearty welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Mr. B. Anil Kumar, a senior principal with more than 3 decades experience as a teacher, motivational leader, and educational leader. He is working at Chinmay Vidyalaya Bohisar since 1995 as a principal and is vice president of Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR, Mumbai since 2009. Under his leadership, the school has progressed in leaps and bounds and won accolades and appreciation. For his dedicated services, he has been appointed as City Coordinator of CBSE Schools of Palghar District. I extend my warm welcome to you, sir. Mrs. Raj Aloni, a hard-working lady and a hard taskmaster with enormous contributions of more than 3 decades in education field. She is the principal of Ramshev Thakur School, Kharghar, and is secretary of Sahodaya Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR. She is the recipient of Maharashtra State Best Teachers Award for her dedicated contributions to the field of education by Government of Maharashtra. She has organized various professional developmental programs for principals and teachers. As an extraordinary teacher, she has won prizes in science exhibition for 11 years at regional level and world level. She has co-edited magazine for Bal Bhavan, Manthan and Science magazine, which were released by our Honorable Minister of Education. She is also the member of Government of Maharashtra Advisory Committee, which takes various vital decisions on education and policies. I extend my gratitude and a hearty welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Good
Thank you.
afternoon and a warm welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Ganesh Parmeshwaram, a very seasoned principal and a well-read, thorough gentleman. He is the principal of Bal Bharti Public School, Kharghar, and is treasurer of Sayoda Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR. He did his post-graduation from Madurai Kamaraj University and is specialized in development economics, economic philosophy, and life skills. He is having experience of more than 37 years. With his ability and concrete ideas, Bal Bharti Public School has contributed a lot to the field of education and earned repeated name. I extend a hearty welcome and gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Most welcome, sir. Good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Mrs. Nandita Khanna, a disciplinarian educational leader with army background, an able administrator. She is the principal of Nalanda Public School, Mulund, since 2005 and is Joint Secretary, Sayoda Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR, Mumbai. I extend my warm welcome to you, ma'am. On behalf of Sayoda Schools Complex, MMR and OMMR, Mumbai, I want to convey my heartfelt gratitude to CBSE COE Pune and entire educationist fraternity who have joined us today to grace the occasion. Now I request a very able and appropriate personality to deliver today's presentation on the subject training policy, expectations and compliances. Mr. Rajiv Kumar Garg is not only an able expert, but is one who is wholeheartedly committed to the cause. Welcome to you, sir. Sir, please take over. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Before I start, my dear friends, you were all hearing, the theme presentation by a very able administrator, a very good, energetic principal, Dr. Rashmi Rekha Saha. And let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Rashmi Rekha Saha. She is the principal of Jaipuriyar School, and she is also the joint secretary of Sahodaya School Complex, MMR and OMMR. Her philosophy is education is to inspire, innovate, and influence at all the time. Dr. Rashmi Rekha Saha, with a software professional diploma, postgraduate and doctorate degree in geography, first class first degree in teacher education, having papers published in international and national journals on casteism and biogas, is having experience of almost 2 decades in educational administration. She worked as assistant professor at Chetna College, University of Mumbai, visiting professor for Chetna Management College, HOD at Reliance Foundation School, before taking charge of head of the institution at Jaipuriyar School, Navi Mumbai. She is also the paper setter for prestigious civil service examination. She is a CBSE empaneled teacher trainer, a lady with great wit, appreciation, motivation, and positive vibration, who has a great impact in molding the integral dimension of the growth of her institution. Dr. Rashmi Rekha Saha is also a qualified Kathak dancer and a passionate graphologist. Ma'am, it's my privilege to introduce you to all the gathering, August gathering over here. A hearty welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to present my screen. Thank you. Come on. Yes. So, my dear friends, once again, a very hearty welcome. I extend a very hearty welcome to Tarun Kumar sir, who is the source of inspiration of today's webinar. In fact, he is the guiding force for organizing this particular webinar on training policy, implementation of training policy, practical insight. Today, on this platform, we are going to share our experiences and the training methodology that we have adopted in our schools, in most of our schools. To begin with, we need to understand what the training policy is all about, what and why this training policy. As ma'am has said, that continuous professional development is an ongoing process of developing, maintaining, and documenting your professional skill. We are talking about continuous professional development. And fortunately, for the first time in Indian education history, National Education Policy addressed teachers as professionals, as doctors, as CAs, as advocates. Teachers are also termed as professionals. And when we talk about this well-deserved term, then definitely continuous development to attain the professional skill is of utmost importance for all of us. So therefore, when we talk about this term CPD, continuous professional development, we need to understand that it is a professional and personal educational activity for teachers to improve their efficiency, their ability, their knowledge, and motivation in their professional work. It's a combination of approaches, ideas, and techniques that will help you manage your own learning growth. It encompasses all behaviors which are intended to effect quantifiable changes in the classroom. It helps in improving students' learning and achievements. Teachers become aware of new development and techniques of teaching. Therefore, it affects the students' learning environment. Teachers learn from other teachers' experiences within their classroom and in the other schools also. Hence, it impacts the student learning and their achievement. Teachers critically reflect their teaching practices and take corrective measure, ultimately leading to improvement in the student learning environment. Based on the feedback provided by their principals, their coordinators, in charge teachers through classroom observation, they try to bring improvement in their teaching practices in order to improve the student performance. The teachers, using this CPD process, design and implement different strategies, activities to address student issues. CPD is also become, is very, very important because it builds confidence and credibility. You can see your progression through your own learning because you maintain the record and you see what you have learned in journey of your teaching learning process. It demonstrates a productive and proactive approach to your career. It does not allow the lethargy to come in the profession. You always remain motivated, productive. It creates potential opportunities for career progression and promotion. Encourages reflection on your learning experiences. It encourages focus and planning to address skills and knowledge gaps. Continually updating your skill set flow flexibility shows flexibility and adaptability. The question comes when we talk about continuous professional development. What does it take to make CPD effective? Is every CPD effective? I am attending so many training programs. Can I say that all those training programs were effective? So, my dear friends, there is a thumb rule to check whether the CPD is effective or not. A CPD, the most effective CPD is that which is personalized, where you can interact and try to learn in the personal mode and one-to-one interaction. A CPD which is relevant, it becomes more effective. A CPD which is sustained, it creates sustainable effect in your mind, which is very well supported with documents, material, or experiences. A CPD which is collaborative in nature, which allows you to work in collaboration with other teachers, that CPD becomes very effective. The next question comes, how can I go about continuous professional development? Now, when I talk about continuous professional development, immediate thing which comes in my mind is the barrier. We pose certain barriers before us to attend these CPDs, to be a part of these CPDs. The major factor becomes is time. Is the time available with me to be to be a professional, to attend a professional development program? I attend, I am there in the school, then I have lots of work to do, homework checking, planning, and then my domestic work. So there is no time available to me. So time becomes the first barrier before me. But when it comes to professional development, I need to somewhere find out time, because it is related to my professional approach to my career. By choice or by chance, we have entered in this profession. But once we have entered in this profession, it is our utmost duty to be rightful in performance, in towards performing our duties. So therefore, all these barriers we have to keep aside. So the second barrier comes money, funding, budget. Who will fund this? Who will budget this? Is the employer going to pay? Is the management going to pay? Or do I have to pay it from my pocket? Am I getting enough enough payment towards my salaries that I can fund my professional development programs, because nothing is free. However, again, it is related to my professional development. When I'm doing MSc, when I did my post graduation, when I did my B.Ed, it's a long back. So many changes have occurred in the field of education, in my academic field as well as in my professional field. And as a teacher, I need to keep myself abreast and updated. So these constraints I have to keep aside. I have to budget myself so that I will be able to put. Of course, management will play its role, no doubt about it. That management will provide, but at the same time, it is for my professional growth also. So somewhere I need to budget for my growth, to attend these continuous professional development programs. Employer support. Ma'am, what is going to happen? What will you do? When you are going to do it? Right? The team also does not support. So employer and the team support also play a very essential aspect in continuous professional development. I remember Rashmi madam was sharing with me once. She was working as a teacher, but at the same time she did her doctorate program when she was teacher, right? And doing that particular program, the management and the school staff, they supported her in few personal and professional matter, though she never took leave. I have great regards for her, that she never took any leave when she was doing her program. She was mentioning that she used to travel after the school hours. She used to travel to Bombay University to attend some research work, and late at night, and believe me, the university and her working place was almost 80 kilometers, 90 kilometers away. So traveling, and she had a small baby at that time, right? So taking care of that baby and taking care of her family, and progression made in the academic field. hats off to her. So if there is a motivation towards your continuous professional development, then all these support starts pouring in. There need to be a personal commitment, right? You have to have your commitment towards your professional. Personal commitments are there, but at the same time, you are responsible for future building of so many people, so many students under your care. So family, pets, partner, everything is there at their place, but at the same time, you need to spend some time, not all the time, but some time towards your continuous professional development. Low morale in the workplace, आउटलुक एंड एटीट्यूड, योर एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स अटेंडिंग दीज प्रोग्राम्स, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, क्या हो जाएगा, हम कौन सा तीर मार लेंगे, आई मीन दिस काइंड ऑफ एटीट्यूड विल नेवर अलाउ दिस स्टैंड्स बैरियर. So you need to break these barriers. Lack of opportunity, right? So these are certain things. If you remove these barriers, and these are the barriers put by yourself only, nobody else has put this barrier, your thought process has put this barrier. You have to remove this barrier, and then you have to prepare yourself for continuous professional development. Believe me, my dear friends, as I share the story of Rashmi ma'am, you look around, you speak to, every family has constraint, every person is going through certain constraint, has gone through certain constraints. But if you look at their success stories, you will find out that, who dares wins. You have to dare, you have to step out, you have to step out from your comfort zone, break those barriers, and get yourself ready for continuous professional development. And once you are prepared, then plan your CPD. So for planning, these questions become the guiding force. Number one, what do I want or need to learn? Which direction I need to move? Whether it is subject oriented, whether it is communication oriented, whether it is soft skill oriented, what I want to learn. What will I do to achieve this? Once I plan the first point, then the second, I need to target how can I achieve this? What are the resources or support available from which I can get this? And then what will be my success criteria? During the course of my professional development, how can I succeed in attainment of my plan? Then the thing is, once you plan over it, then you look for the things which are available for your help. In-house training programs, right? You can request your training coordinator in the school, you can request your principal, you can request your management that arrange in-house training programs. CBSE Center of Excellence under the leadership of Dr. Tarun Kumar is doing excellent job. For the past 4-5 years, more than 5 years, in fact now it is 4-5 years, Center of Excellence is doing wonderful job in training in providing continuous professional development. Teacher training institutes recognized by center, union territories, state, regional training institutions, they are arranging summer vacation, programs, or winter or vacation programs. You can attend those programs. CBSE Sahodaya schools. This complex is, growing together is fun. In the beginning, ma'am said, rising together is the motto. I grow and I help others also to grow, right? I mentor other also to grow. So CBSE Sahodaya school complex play a very, very important task. You can join, you can ask your principal to join the group, and then through that group, get yourself trained. Then there are center or state sponsored IT training platforms like Diksha, Swayam. This COVID-19 situation has given us an opportunity to look for all these platforms which are available, IT enabled platforms. We can use these platforms also to get ourselves professionally equipped. Right? When there is a will, there is a way. Thing is, we need to create a will, then there is a way. None of the training program attended by you will remain unsuccessful. Every training program will remain unsuccessful until unless you have certain reflective practices. You reflect upon what did I do? What did I do to do it? What did I learn? How will or how have I use what I have learned? The processes which I acquired during my development program, how should I use it in my classroom situation or in my school situation? So these reflective practices will make you a good teacher. I would like to bring in your kind attention, my dear friends. National education policies, right from its inception, has focused on teacher development. And National Education Policy 2020 has made special emphasis on continuous development of teachers. It says that each teacher will be expected to participate in at least, say, 50 hours of CPD opportunities every year for self improvement, for its own professional development driven by their own needs and choice. So you are the person who will be able to identify your need. Nobody else can guide you that you get trained in this particular thing, right? If you feel that you require some best practices in classroom management, you need to find out the workshop which is happening in classroom management, maybe by CBSE COE Pune, maybe through Sahodaya complex, or maybe some other training institutes which are doing it. So your needs, your choices, but you need to get yourself equipped in professional development program for 50 hours. You can choose individualized training, learning outcomes, competence based learning, related pedagogies like experiential learning, art integration, sports integration, storytelling based approaches. There are so many pedagogies which are available. You need to find out, you need to make choice and get yourself equipped in those training programs. School principals, I mean, it's not only for the teachers, even the school leaders, the complex leaders, they also expect to attend 50 hours of training program, self-designed CPD module for them, right? And that can be workshops, online modules covering leadership management, content and pedagogy, teaching pedagogical aspect, leadership aspect of their job, uh, competence based pedagogical plans. CBSE has already said that principals are the pedagogical leaders. So you are the guiding force to your teachers in preparing the pedagogical plans. Now pedagogical plans should be based on competence, should have outcome based education. So continuously improving in your leadership and management skills. For that, NPE said the school leaders need to make provisions for 50 hours of training programs, right? Sharing of the best practices also become the part of your continuous development program as per NPE 2020. Who dares to teach must never cease to learn. So it is, once you enter in this teaching profession, once you dare to stand before gathering of students to make their, you have taken this task of making their future, then definitely you can never cease to learn. You have to learn, right? You have to put yourself in that particular mode to learn, right? Central Board of Secondary Education has also laid emphasis on continuous professional development, and not now. Since its inception, CBSE has made a task that teachers should undergo the continuous development, continuous professional development. And the genesis of this is CBSE believes that education is dynamic, it keeps on changing, and therefore teacher need to keep themselves abreast with latest trend in education. They have to keep themselves updated, about the new problems, new methodologies, new techniques in education. Every teacher is a student. You cannot teach until unless you wake up the learner inside, right? You have to be a lifelong learner. So individual must be in a position to keep learning throughout his or her life, because a true teacher is a student all through the life. A teacher, once a teacher, is always a teacher because he is always a learner. It is important for their, CBSE believes that it is important that for their professional growth and democratic living, they need to renovate their experience, refresh their knowledge, develop a wider outlook, benefit by the experience of others, acquire new information, develop a sense of security, like-mindedness, team spirit, and feeling of belongingness. So continuous development program, this continuous professional development program, try to bring in all these things on a common platform. CBSE has made it mandatory through affiliation bylaws. Why? Because, as I said in the beginning, every teacher will try to put barrier before itself to attend the continuous development program. Now, to get the barriers removed, CBSE has put, certain rules in the affiliation bylaws. And chapter 16 of affiliation bylaws talks about in-service training of teachers and quality assessment. It says that every affiliated school will arrange the following training programs every year for its teachers. 3 days training, in-house training program for every teacher. Number 2, 2 days training program for its teacher, preferably in association with CBSE COE Pune or respective COEs, or through teacher training institutes recognized by center, state, regional training institutions, or CBSE Sahodaya School Complex, or through IT training platforms such as Diksha or Swayam. A school can arrange these training programs with the help of established training institutions also. But when I say Diksha and Swayam, I would like to put a word of caution. You need to document it with videographic evidences that you have attended the Diksha program, right? Because there are always a spoil sport. There are people who try to take advantage of few, lukinas. Therefore, you have to be very clear on those aspects. The other aspect, 3 days in-house training program, 2 days from CBSE COE Pune, then another 2 days training program for principals, preferably again in association with CBSE COE Pune, training institutions. IIMs are also part of these training programs. CBSE Sahodaya, National Sahodaya schools, National Sahodaya is being organized for principals. So you can be a part in those Sahodaya programs, or IT platforms such as Diksha and Swayam, right? School can arrange these programs with the help of established training institutions. Sahodaya can enroll because, there are lots and many teachers, and to arrange so many programs, sometimes COE also find it difficult to arrange to cater to all the people. So therefore, CBSE Sahodaya plays a role, and they enroll those teachers trained in these COE programs to train the further training program, to conduct the further training programs for other teachers. So CBSE Sahodaya plays a very, very important aspect in such kind of program, in such kind of trainings. Triennial training programs. So besides your in-house training programs, 3 days in-house training programs, 2 days training program from CBSE COE Pune or other training institutes, or 2 days training program for principals, there is a triennial programs once in 3 years. In addition to the provision in the clause 16.1, every school for its entire teaching staff shall organize full-time training program for not less than 5 days, at least once in 3 years. Again, CBSE COE Pune can help you out. Sahodaya complex can, play an important role. Training institutes, regional training institutes, teacher training institutes, or central teacher training institutes like NCRT, SCRT can play an important role in that particular, in organizing such kind of triennial training programs. Please remember that the participation certificates, records, you have to preserve and you have to produce at the time of upgradation, affiliation, extension, or during inspection, as and when the board asks for verification of these certificates. Having said so about continuous development program, the NP, what NPE 2020 is talking about it, and where CBSE stands, in these training programs. Let me put some of the practices being adopted by Datta Mege Word Academy. Datta Mege Word Academy understands that in-service training boosts the efficiency and effectiveness of teachers and develop a sense of perfect behavior in working strategies of teachers as it widens their scope. These trainings are designed to encourage teachers to adopt new methods of teaching, integrate new knowledge, and explore the uses of new technology. We envisage to enhance the teacher quality of our school by understanding the needs of teacher and organizing various in-service training programs which develops skills and knowledge within the teacher so that they can perform their duties effectively and with respect to the standards of working field. Teachers participate as active, responsible member of the professional community, engage in reflective practices, pursuing the opportunity to grow professionally and establish collegial relationship to enhance teaching and learning processes. And to sum up, it is of critical importance to develop the human resource in our school system and the pedagogical processes. The programs aim to introduce new models of teaching proven to have positive effect on the learning environment in general and in daily teaching situations in particular. This becomes the part of our training policy. And it further defines our training policy that all newly recruited teaching staff, including principal, will mandatorily undergo 7 days induction program before completion of probation period. The newly recruited non-teaching staff will mandatorily undergo 5 days induction program before completion of probation period. So teaching, non-teaching staff, every staff member is incorporated in our in-service training program. Every teacher participates in CBD program to keep itself abreast with modern trends and technology in its profession and shall attend 50 hours of training program every year for upgrading their knowledge and skills, beside 25 hours of content enrichment program in every 3 years. Every housemaster has to attend 5 days training program on guidance and counseling. The teachers promoted from TGT to PGT have to attend 15 hours of content enrichment program in a specific subject. These are the part of our training programs. Further, it is divided that, while nominating teachers for training, priority may be given to those who have not completed mandatory training programs as requirement of their service rule. Many times teachers are coming from other schools to join our institution. So they don't go for the training programs in their previous school. So we conduct the training programs. We prioritize their participation first. And these are the training schedules that we have, made for every teacher, including the principal. So for CBSE COE program, 2 days or 10 hours program minimum. These are the minimum program, right? For in-house training program, 15 hours, and once in 3 years, 25 hours, right? It is for teachers and for principal. All training programs may be organized as per the training calendar. So we have made a training calendar also. I'm going to share that training calendar also. We believe that the hallmark of a good teacher is that it itself always been the learning and always developing its knowledge and understanding of children and young people. In short, a teacher should be a person who, because of his or her attitude to knowledge, to ideas, to his or her fellows, and to life generally, is better educated today than she was yesterday, and will better educated than he or she is today. So it is continual progress. As I said, I'm going to share a few documents. One is the training program. What kind of training program? So we have listed the training programs that we have planned for our teachers. Now these are the in-service training programs. A huge list, but not the exhaustive one. It keeps on adding as and when we identify the needs of the teacher. Few programs we have taken from the CBSE COE program. Few we have taken with our experience with other people, interacting with other principals, other school leaders. And this is how, few programs, and it has been divided that which program will undergo with CBSE COE, which programs will be for in-house training, and where we are going to host certain outside agencies, maybe Sahodaya or maybe other training institutes, for teachers to get themselves trained. So this is the list that we have prepared first. As I move ahead, I move to training calendar. Now, as I move to training calendar, so once we prepare the list of programs, then we divide that program in the month-wise schedule, right? Then we divide which program will go in-house training, then which program will go annual training, and which program will go in the triennial training, triennial training programs, once in 3 years kind of program. So then so it is a month-wise schedule that has been created for the entire school, for the entire fraternity of the school, right? So this is how these training calendar is being created. Having glimpses of this, then I move ahead, and then once the training program is there, training calendar is there, then we ask the teachers to attend the training programs, and there's a training record being maintained. So we have created a training record, and this training record is separate for in-house, annual, and triennial, where the topic of the training, from which days to which date, how many number of days, converted into number of hours, then number of teachers, name of the teachers, designation, and who was the resource person. Similarly, for annual training program and for triennial training program, such kind of schedules have been created over there. Now this is the program that we have created. There are certain templates drafted by expert, and using these draft, we can make subsequent changes in the program. Now this is one of the training need calculation utility, that how many training hours that I need to have for my teachers, right? So this is one of the schedule that you can have. CBSE has nominated school training nodal officer, coordinator basically. So that coordinator will keep on updating this record. I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of SNTC in a short while. So these are the cell. Here you put the school name, your affiliation number, your number of teachers they are in the school, and automatically this will calculate that how many hours of training that you require. And then you divide it into annual training programs, triennial training programs, or in-house training programs. Then comes your in-house training program. So this is a list of in-house training programs. For example, this is an example which has been created. So in-house training programs have been created: name of the teacher, the training done on the subject, then rate of completion, duration, in total number of duration in hours, which agency, so in-house agency, so contact number. So this is for in-house training for 2020, in-house for 2021. Just a template. This is just a template, right? Which you can use. Then annual training program, similar kind of template is there for an annual training program, wherein classroom management, stress management, language program for English, there, and different agencies are called. Maybe Sahodaya, maybe COE Pune, maybe SCRT has been logged in. Whosoever agency has come, the address has been mentioned, the contact numbers, and it can be there. So annual training program for 2020, annual training program for 2021. So you can create this kind of annual training programs, calendars for your teachers. Then this is the triennial training programs, the programs which will go once in 3 years, right? So you list those programs which will go for once in 3 years, and then you can create a kind of training program and the training calendar for your teachers. It is not necessary that all the teachers will undergo all the training in one go. You can divide. So today, 2 teachers of my PGT department or senior secondary wing are attending a triennial training program, right? Then maybe next month, another 2 teachers will attend. And in this way, you can cover the triennial programs or other training programs for your teachers. I was talking about school nodal training coordinator. Uh, CBSE, through its circular number 13, dated March 9, 2019, uh, has asked every school to appoint a school nodal training coordinator. Now, who is the training nodal coordinator? If your school is a senior secondary school, then the PGT of the school will be the training coordinator. If your school is a secondary school, then the senior most TGT or the senior TGT can act as the school nodal training coordinator. The TNC must be carefully selected. It's not that only the experience of that person be the sole criteria for selection of TNC. There are other criterias, other points that you need to look. The inclination towards training and dedication towards its implementation. If the trainer itself put the barriers before himself or herself, then that training coordinator will not be able to conduct the training or will not be able to organize or plan training for other teachers. So therefore you need to select very carefully the energetic persons having inclination towards training and dedication for its implementation. Those who will make sure, yes, it will get implemented, right? The roles and responsibilities of the TNC will be to realize the vision of training and development in adherence to the philosophy as enshrined in Right to Education Act and affiliation bylaws of CBSE and the learning outcomes as laid out by NCERT. The training coordinator should be able to assess the training needs of the school teacher and assist the principal in planning, designing, and implementing an all-inclusive training calendar of the school to achieve improved learning outcomes by the students, as I have shown you the example of my school. Coordinate closely with the respective district training coordinator or COE regarding actual conduct of program. So here the district training coordinator can come in the picture. You can coordinate with COE or you can coordinate with Sahodaya Schools Complex for the actual conduct of program. You need to identify who will be able to fulfill the need of the training. Assess and review individual training teachers' progress, liaison with COE or Sahodaya and ensure that effective solutions are jointly provided as per need. Keep detailed, accurate written record of training conducted in the school or outside in respect of each teacher. Now here, this training coordinator is friend of all and is friend of none. No partiality, no favoritism. Every teacher, because it is related to the professional development of individual, including himself or herself. So the training coordinator also need to attend few training programs. So monitor the attendance of school teachers in all training programs, including himself or herself, and provide constructive feedback to COE or Sahodaya about the quality and utility of various programs. Handle training logistics, including printing of certificates and management of various equipments and venues. Schools are obliged to conduct the training programs as per that circular. This is circular number 13, dated March 9, 2019, issued from Director, Training and Skill Education, CBSE headquarters. Schools are obliged to have training programs. So every school would prepare an annual training calendar which allocate with allocation towards funds, finance, and academic budget. Right? So you have to leave some space in the academic calendar for training programs, and you have to devote certain financial resources also. The school will mandatorily get adequate number of teachers trained by COEs every year, and the remaining teachers, they can conduct in-house training programs with the help of Sahodaya Schools Complex. Or the hub of learning also play an important aspect. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention hubs of learning. So hubs of learning can also play an important aspect. The hub leaders play the important role. They can join hands with Sahodaya, or they can at the individual level, they can do it. In addition to above, the school can also get their teachers trained by other experts or teacher training institutions, or organize teacher training for the cluster of schools. When I talk about cluster of schools, we are talking about hub leaders. It is hereby reiterated that empowerment program organized by CBSE are compulsory. Therefore, it is incumbent upon school management to pay the program fee for all teachers and spare them to attend these programs to ensure proper quality of education in the schools affiliated to the board. School affiliated to the board. It may also be noted that the application for upgradation, extension of provisional application will inter alia be considered with reference to schools' record of nominating the teachers for training as per the provision of affiliation bylaws and as per the circulars. The data will be collated with the data available at COE, for extension or upgradation of affiliation. So please keep this thing in mind. So this is mandatory, right? So that you remove your barriers and you attend these CPDs. District training coordinator also play a very, very important aspect. Each district has a training coordinator, essentially a principal of an affiliated school, right? This is again appointed by CBSE. The district training coordinator responsibilities include communicating with the school nodal training coordinators of all CBSE school in its district to identify training needs and mapping out development plans for teams and individuals in consultation with respective COE, Sahodaya Schools Complex, experts, or teacher training institutes. The district training coordinators are responsible for ensuring compliances by schools towards managing, designing, developing, coordinating, or conducting all training programs as per CBSE norms. So, my dear friends, this is all I have to say, on behalf of Sahodaya towards development programs and sharing of my practices as principal at Datta Meghe Word Academy. But I personally have a firm belief that these continuous professional development without, being monitored, it should be self-motivated. You need to attend this program. The motivation should come from within because it is for individuals' professional growth. You are there as a teacher. You have appointed as a teacher today. You passed out B.Ed maybe yesterday, and today you are a teacher. But 5 years down the line, you will find so many changes coming up in all the fields that you need to abreast yourself in the latest trends. Otherwise, you will not be able to control your class well, right? You will not be able to deliver. You will not be able to convince your learner. So there are so many things you need to get yourself updated. So please motivate yourself, keep yourself motivated, and encourage yourself, pet yourself for every program that you attend, right? And try to train your fellow partners in all the programs that you have attended. Try to remove all those barriers which stops you in attending these professional development programs. Thank you very much for your participation. This is a wholehearted participation I could see, and I'm pleased to inform all the people who are there that today more than 1,000 people are there, joined live on YouTube to attend this program, to take this call. Thank you very much, and my sincere thanks from the core of my heart to Tarun Kumar sir for encouraging me to take this task and giving this task to Sahodaya MMR to initiate this process of having this training program. You can reach me at the given email IDs. One is my official email ID of Sahodaya, and second is my personal. So you can reach me in case you have any problem. My chat box on the YouTube is almost there. You can put your queries in the chat box. There is a quick link also being shared by Tarun sir yesterday. You can post your queries if you have your queries. We will try to answer as many queries as possible. Otherwise, rest of the queries which we will not be able to take up, we will try to answer you through email which we have. Thank you very much for being with me. Over to you, Rashmi ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful presentation. We have just heard Mr. Rajiv Kumar Garg, how lucidly he has explained the entire training policy and enlightened all of us. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your guidance and supporting the entire fraternity. Now, may I request Mrs. Ranjana Jhangra ma'am to give insights on training and enlighten us. Welcome, Mrs. Jhangra ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rashmi. Once again, good afternoon to all enthusiastic school leaders and teachers. So just give me a few seconds. I'll share my screen. I hope you all are able to see.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes. So before I start with my presentation, I would like to say thanks to COE Pune and Sahodya Schools Complex for providing us an opportunity to share training insight at BK Birla Public School. Thank you, Rajiv sir. Thank you, Tarun Kumar sir, both of you, for giving us this kind of opportunity. So before I start, I have mentioned here, if you see this transformation journey. In fact, our transformation journey started about 8 years ago, when we started the expansion of the school in terms of infrastructure, number of students, and a lot of other areas. Many new teachers joined, and you all know that it is so difficult to get well-trained, groomed, or you can say so-called ready teacher. And moreover, for new teachers to sink them in our school culture, to adjust them, to make them understand the culture which is followed at the school, it is really a task. At that time, we realized that to maintain and enhance quality in education, a lot of grooming and support is required for these new and old teachers, because a lot of changes were coming in CBSE guidelines as well. CCE was stopped and new assessment policies started, and a lot of changes as such will keep coming. So we realized that we need to do something to maintain or to enhance the quality of education in our school. And it is really a challenge to create an open kind of learning environment in the school, for free flow of ideas and fearless and equipped minds to think and suggest new ideas. So this is really a challenge. So I will quickly go through, because Rajiv sir has given some time limit to us to share our best practices regarding training in our school. So how we go ahead in BKVPS in our school, the first step which we follow is a need analysis. Need analysis is very important to start with trainings. Which trainings are to be taken, who will take the training, which teacher needs which training. This all kind of analysis is required before you list out the training or before you plan out the training for our new academic session. And this need analysis actually depends on many factors. One is that it can be done through performance appraisal. We have a performance appraisal system in our school, wherein the appraisal is given by first a teacher. She herself does the self-appraisal, then it goes to the appraiser, and then reviewer is there. So then while the self-appraisal, teacher can herself recommend, or if teacher feels that she wants training or she wants support of the management in particular area, in particular field, then teacher can also self-recommend the kind of training if teacher needs. So that is done through self-appraisal form. And sometimes it is recommended by the management, by the principal, by the training nodal coordinator. So this is how we identify the need. And sometimes there are performance gaps in teaching, in performance, in competency mapping. Now, what is competency mapping? This I will share with you in few slides after this. And then there are some mandatory trainings which we have to go through. There are certain trainings which are set by the regulatory bodies or government bodies which are mandatory for the school to take. Then sometimes it is because of some new technology or new approach or new teaching methods, or to make the teachers future ready. And sometimes it is because of the development of new leadership, because this is very important. School is such a vibrant and huge place where one person cannot run the show. So we need some development in the leaders. A leader's responsibility actually is to develop new leaders as well. So this is also one of the criteria when we plan our training for the next session or the training calendar. Next step in this is the planning, which is again very, very important, as Rajiv sir also shared some of the documents with you. So first step, after once we finalize the need, according to the need analysis, once we finalize the calendar or the list that which trainings we are going to conduct in this year, then comes the training investment budget. In fact, we call it investment, not an expenditure, because spending money on teachers will actually, cost less later on. So this is very, very important investment once we start the budgeting of the school. So training budget is made and then calendar is made depending upon the need analysis. And this calendar is made about 3 to 4 months ahead. Like for the next year, our calendar in fact is ready. And we have started planning, also started coordinating with the trainers and other things. Then finding trainers for certain, once our list is ready, then we start finding trainers, then coordinating with them. And then we maintain a lot of training records, as Rajiv sir also shared with all of you. List of trainings attended by each teacher, we place it in the personal file. I mean, every teacher's personal file is having the list of trainings which teacher has undergone all the years in her tenure in the school. So, I mean, right from the beginning, from the first day teacher joins, if teachers are undergoing the training, all the training records are recorded and filed in the personal file of every teacher. And then we keep the track of number of trainings, number of days, number of hours attended by each teacher in a year. That is again important because, as sir shared, that there are certain mandatory rules which a school has to follow. 50 days training, 50 hours training is required by every teacher in a year to complete. So these kinds of records are really important. Then of course, attendance records are maintained, video records are maintained, photographs are there. Then training material. Suppose if few teachers, they attend training sessions somewhere outside the school, then whatever training material is there, it is recorded, it is with us, with the training nodal coordinator, and it is shared with every other teachers also, those who could not attend that training. Then we have records for effectiveness of training also, which is very, very important aspect again, because generally it is seen that training is conducted and later on, that's it. No implementation, no follow-up. So we find we kind of measure the effectiveness of training also at our school. Now, these are some of the trainings which I will share with all of you. The types of training which we conduct at our school under different categories. I'm going to share these with you. Like few trainings I have listed here. for skill enhancement of teachers. For example, storytelling workshop for pre-primary and primary teachers. See, of course, there are mandatory rules which every school has to follow for teachers in regard to training and number of hours, number of days. But what is our focus at PKBPS? We try to focus on the quality of training. We try to find out the trainers who are best in this particular field, in that particular topic, in that particular area, whichever topic is selected for the training. And moreover, we try to try to have variety in the training. There are multiple types of training which we are conducting, because according to us, teacher should be a total teacher, because finally there are so many areas which a teacher needs enhancement in skills, in knowledge, in abilities, in capabilities. So accordingly, we try to list out the trainings and conduct. So let us come back to the skill enhancement trainings. As I said, storytelling workshop was conducted, and whenever we conduct these training sessions, we try to see that each and every teacher is covered in the sense that suppose I have say 50 teachers in pre-primary, so we try to do it in 2 sessions, or maybe we try to do it 2 times in a year, for one batch in first term and for the second batch in the second term. But we try to see that every teacher is given this particular type of training. Then voice modulation workshop, which is very, very interesting workshop which we conducted at our school. This was again for every section. I mean, not only for pre-primary or primary, for all, because you can understand the importance of this kind of workshop for a teacher, because a monotonous type of voice in the classroom, if children listen, the classroom cannot be very interesting. Then English language learning program. This is again skill-based program. It was for 6 days, and we conducted pre-test for all the teachers first, and then we shortlisted. 2 groups were made. One group the group which needed more support was different, and there was another group which needed little less support. So this is how we conducted this 6 days program for all the teachers. Then use of technology in teaching. This is very, very important area which we have been doing for so many years. In fact, when this lockdown occurred, we already had Microsoft Teams at our school. So we took very less time to shift from offline teaching to online teaching, because teachers were already trained and teachers were already using many educational tools which were from Google as well as from Microsoft. Then basic counseling techniques for teachers. We realized that with the increasing number of behavioral issues with the children and the learning disabilities, and there are a lot of other issues also with the children because of many other reasons, we felt that having 2 or 3 counselors in the school is also not sufficient. So that is why we thought of giving a kind of training to the teachers, wherein every teacher becomes as a counselor. At least a teacher should know the first aid kind of thing, or teachers should know how to identify such kind of children and what kind of first aid can be given. If suppose teacher is not able to handle it later on, then the case can be given to the counselor. So we conducted this also for the teachers. And then classroom management is from COE Pune, which helps teachers to enhance their skills of classroom management. Questioning skills, also we conducted a workshop for teachers, because how to frame the questions, keeping in mind the learning objective, is very, very important. And a very smart type of question, how to frame, this is again a kind of skill which we thought to conduct for teachers. Then there are transformational changes, transformational type of, you can say, workshop or development programs. Basically, these are for the senior teachers, for those teachers for leadership maybe. For example, we conducted emotional intelligence this workshop for our senior staff, and for every teacher, those who attended this program, we did the psychometric disc analysis also, and the trainer discussed the report with every teacher, and some recommendations were given. Because if the teacher is not emotionally strong, she or he cannot take the class properly, and she or he cannot demonstrate that kind of strength in front of the students as well. Then personal efficacy at work. This is again important, that how a person should feel that, okay, a teacher should feel that it is my workplace and I have to give my 100% here. My absence or my presence makes a kind of impact on my workplace. So this is very important. If a teacher should have this kind of feeling, then we need not look into so many things. Then we had on-site team building for every teacher. Team building program was done for 2 days. It was in the school. You might have heard about outbound team building programs, but this was on-site. It was in the school itself. Afternoon, we started the program in the school, and overnight teachers stayed in the school. They were enjoying like anything this kind of team building program, and next day afternoon, then we finished this team building workshop for teachers. Again, it was very interesting, and very teachers, this also we completed for every teacher. In 2 batches we did it, but it was done again for every teacher. Then design thinking workshop for teachers and students. Design thinking is a kind of approach which actually helps teachers to think from different perspective, and teachers can teach accordingly and give, you can say, it reflects upon in their teaching as well. So this is again a very new age approach which we conducted for teachers and students also. And this is our yearly workshop, you can say. Every year we conduct for students as well as for teachers. Then leadership training, not trainings basically, this is the development program with the senior teachers, those who are already doing quite well, and to develop leadership in them, we conduct a lot of training sessions, in fact, for them. Some knowledge enhancement program, youth mental health, first aid certification. Again, as I said, this is also about mental health, how a teacher can identify the problematic cases or the cases where child needs some sort of help. Teachers should know certain tools, and at least teachers should be aware that what kind of issues a child can face. So this was the program which was conducted. Then cyber safety workshop for all the teachers we conducted. Then all the teachers nowadays are taking classes online, and they are, I mean, almost all the time when they are teaching, they are on screen, they are online. So cyber safety is very important for students as well as for teachers. Then nutrition for educators. This is again very interesting program, which was for 2 days, which we conducted for teachers, that how nutrition is important for them and what kind of nutritional values the teachers should have, and then they have to actually pass it on to the students as well. If the teacher is not aware about nutrition and the health issues, they cannot guide children in this way. And then we had career guidance. Career guidance is again COE program, which is again for 2 days. Then innovative teaching methods. This is again very interesting program which we have been doing for so many years, almost every year, because whenever new teachers join, or otherwise after 3 years, we try to do the refresher course with old teachers as well. So very innovative methods which can be used for teaching, new age methods. These methods are taught, or on these methods training is taken. Even in-house also we try to conduct this training for new teachers sometimes. Then these are some of the trainings which are for personality development for teachers. Image enhancement is again very interesting program which we do every year for every new teacher, because how a teacher should look and how a teacher should present herself or himself in front of the students, this is again very, very important, because that gives you a kind of confidence, and that gives a kind of confidence to the child also, that okay, this is my teacher. And that is why we conducted this image enhancement for every teacher. And as I said, this we are doing whenever there are new teachers here in the school. Then corporate etiquettes also, one day training program we conducted, English communication skills program, then soft skills program, how to communicate with the parents. This is very, very important. At times we have seen that on open days or whenever parent-teacher interactions are there, teachers should know how to present herself and how to communicate with the parents in a way so that parent also goes satisfactorily, and parent also should feel happy to come and interact with teachers. So soft skills again, and moreover, it's not only to interact with parents, it is important to get along with each other as well, how to interact with our colleagues, that is again very, very important. This is how they can build a good team. Then there is another program which is called PEAK. It is professional personal effectiveness at workplace. Again, this is a 2 days program. It is for the personality development as well as for transformation also. Now, these are some unique ideas which we are following, which is again related to training and development. As I was talking about competency mapping, this is what exactly we do for every new teacher. We conduct competency mapping by third party. Third party means it is not conducted in-house, it is conducted with the help of an agency, and it has there are certain layers, there are certain levels through which a teacher has to pass through, like knowledge test and classroom observation, personal interview with through the agency, and then there is a report which is given by them with a lot of recommendations, and a complete report is given to the teacher, and a copy of it is kept in his or her file in the school as well. And according to the recommendations given in the competency mapping, follow-up trainings are conducted for these teachers to fill up the gaps. And then another very important and very interesting thing is the idea which we have in the school is knowledge test for all the teachers. We conduct 2 times in a year knowledge test for every teacher in their own subject, and then we get the question papers from outside, and then teachers are given this question paper based on their subject and based on the kind of in whichever area they are teaching in, and then we give incentive also to the best scorers in this knowledge test. So it keeps skills are important, at the same time knowledge is equally important, because skills can be developed, but the content, if teacher is not good in subject matter, I mean, we can't do anything in that case. So that is why refreshing the knowledge is very important throughout. Then there is very important and very interesting program again, which is PEP, which we conducted, which is Performance Enhancement Program. It is a 6 months training program for the weaker performers. Sometimes it happens that teacher is good, but there are certain areas where some improvement is required, or there is some sort of support is required from us to enhance the performance of that particular teacher. So this is the program, as I said, a 6 months long program, series of training, series of observations, series of personal interviews, and series of you can say lesson planning. All that is, it goes on throughout in these 6 months to strengthen the skills and knowledge of that particular teacher. So this we conduct for these teachers. Then we have a program called Smart 20. Smart 20 is We try to find out the high potential teachers, 20 teachers, and then we try to plan or chalk down the development and succession plan for these teachers. Again, series of leadership training program and development programs are conducted for these smart 20 teachers, and lot of and then moreover we have created a lot of leadership positions also, so that these teachers, once they are ready, they are given opportunities to practice those skills as well in the actual scenario in the school. Then we have mentoring program for new teachers. Mentoring is again a kind of training itself. It may not be a very formal kind of training, but it is again important. So this program we named as Main Hoon Na. So we allot one mentor to every new teacher, as whatever kind of whenever new teachers join, they sometimes have some queries, some doubts, and to adjust in the culture of the school, to explain them the culture of the school. So these senior teachers, the teacher who is appointed as a mentor, they help these new teachers to adjust happily and to adopt the culture of the school successfully. So they help these new teachers. Then induction program, of course, is there for every teacher. It is mandatory for new teachers or any other non-teaching staff to attend induction program, which is again divided in different areas, administrative related and academic related, and a lot of parts are there for this induction program, which is conducted for every new staff who enters in. So these are some unique ideas about mentoring, about development, about training in our school. Then, as I said earlier, follow-up is very important, because after training, if we just leave it, I have seen that we attend the training and next day we forget everything and we don't implement those skills or whatever we learned in the training. So this is important to do the follow-up and to implement uh, to get the result, whatever we have learned through this training. So effectiveness of the training is measured through observation and feedback as well. So we have our techniques to find out whether the training which was conducted is effective or not. Of course, first we see that it is implemented. For example, I give you the example of new teaching, innovative teaching methods. So every teacher has to implement those methods in the classroom teaching. They have to mention that in the lesson plan as well. And then we observe whether they are able to implement or able to really use those methods in the classroom successfully or not. So this is how the implementation is done and the effectiveness of the training is measured. Then, as I said, follow-up is also taken. Follow-up training is taken after competency mapping, then sharing of training material, in-house training by the attendees for other teachers. Suppose if whosoever, this is the kind of very routine practice in our school, that if a teacher attends any kind of training session, that teacher has to share the material and the content and whatever the teacher has learned with the other teachers as well. And sometimes this is done in a very formal way. Properly they conduct training sessions for other teachers. So follow-up, as I said, is important after training. So future belongs to those who learn, unlearn, and relearn, because learning never ceases out. We need to keep on updating our knowledge, updating our skills and abilities. And that can happen only if we unlearn whatever was learned earlier, because of the new trends, because of the new technologies, because of the new methodologies which keep coming. As Rajiv sir said, 5 years, whatever the trend was, today things have changed. And if we are still with those 5 years old methods and we are not ready to change ourselves, sorry friends, we cannot exist. So for survival and for growth, You need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is very, very important. So that's it from my side. Thank you so much once again, Tarun Kumar sir and Rajiv sir and the entire team of Sahodya. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thanks. I'll just
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable insights. I believe all the participants must have learned a lot from you. I hope by briefing you the aim of today's webinar, each one of you present are excited to implement and know more about it. But before we proceed, let our soul get energized by a motivational, beautiful theme song, which will be performed by Datta Meghe World Academy Airoli teachers. Welcome to you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope our voice is coming properly now.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We will start with the theme song, that is Aaj Samay Ki Maang Par. Here it goes. आज समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। आज समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण में निरंतरता से नए आयामों को रचते हैं। समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। आज समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण में निरंतरता से नए आयामों को रचते हैं। ला 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 परिवर्तन नियम जीवन का, नियम अब नए बनते हैं। परिवर्तन नियम जीवन का, नियम अब नए बनते हैं। नई शिक्षा की नीति पैमानों से शिक्षित हर बालक को करते हैं, शिक्षित हर बालक को करते हैं। शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण में निरंतरता से नए आयामों को रचते हैं। ला 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 नई राह पर चलकर मंजिल को हम पाए, नई राह पर चलकर मंजिल को हम पाए। अपने योगदान से इसको संपूर्ण सफल बनाए, अपने योगदान से इसको संपूर्ण सफल बनाए। बेहतर शिक्षा के बदले देश से अपनाए, बेहतर शिक्षा के बदले देश से अपनाए। शिक्षा और शिक्षित बस आगे बढ़ते जाए, बस आगे बढ़ते जाए, बस आगे बढ़ते जाए। आज समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। आज समय की मांग पर शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं, शुरुआत नहीं करते हैं। शिक्षक प्रशिक्षण में निरंतरता से नए आयामों को रचते हैं। Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for such a beautiful, melodious, theme-based song. With a beautiful thought, let us proceed further. In learning, you will teach, and in teaching, you will learn, said by Phil Collins. Mr. Alok Kardare, Principal Reliance Foundation School, Koparkhana, Navi Mumbai, is an eminent educationist for more than 3 decades. Postgraduate in Applied Mathematics from Ujjain, M.Ed from Indore. He has also postgraduate diploma in computer programming. He has vast experience of working with IB schools, CICAC and CBSE curriculum. He is an excellent teacher trainer with special focus on pedagogy, evaluation, and assessment. I welcome you, sir, to share your views on practical insights at Reliance Foundation School and enrich us. Over to you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Tarun sir and Rajiv sir, for giving this opportunity to me. I'll just take a minute to share my screen. I hope it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, at the outset, once again, thank you, Tarun sir, and we welcome you to COE Pune. And with a dynamic leader like you in that place, and within a month's time, we can feel that change in the pace of COE. And thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, Rajiv sir and Saudai School Complex for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation here today. So, the theme given to me is practical insights on professional development program for teachers and staff in my school, that is Reliance Foundation School. While Rajiv sir talked about continuous professional development of teachers, I would just add one more adjective to that. It is continuous and comprehensive professional development for teachers. So in today's time, when it's quite dynamic, where every day the technology is changing, everywhere new innovations are happening, and teachers cannot afford to lag behind. And I will just take Rajiv sir has given me time slot of maybe around 10 minutes. I'll try to finish in that time. So we have, when we talk about professional development program for teachers, so we have different components of that. One is the different sessions that we conduct. And apart from that, you can see these are the components that we look at it. In-house professional development programs, then external professional development programs where we send our teachers outside, conducted by CBSE, COE, maybe hubs of learning or different agencies. We also conduct demo classes conducted by teachers for each other in the peer group. Then we have summer vacation reading for teachers. Then we have teacher portfolios. Then we also encourage teachers to share best practices. That is where the innovations that we talk about. And in this entire thing, our library plays a very, very important role, and they run a parallel program throughout the year, which also I place it under professional development of teachers. So coming to in-house professional development program, we have a very structured professional development program. And twice in a year, that is in the month of March, we spend almost a week on professional development of teachers. That is immediately after declaration of the results of the annual examination. It comes around last week of March, around 22nd, 23rd of March every year. We are around the 6 to 7 days of professional development program. And again in the month of June, once the school reopens after summer vacations, our teachers report around a week before the students come back. And during that week, around 3 to 4 days, again we devote for the professional development program. So these are the 2 dedicated weeks, you can say, for the professional development. Apart from that, every month, 4th Saturday, our students are not there in the school. And that is the day, again, we find around a couple of hours or as much as time permits to conduct some programs for our teachers. And each session, every day, we have around 4 to 6 hours of this professional development. In around last 7 years, we have 300 sessions and roughly 500 hours of professional development that we have dedicated to. These are about in-house training programs which are happening on these particular days. But apart from that, many other things keep happening, so which we are not able to keep account in terms of number of hours and kind of things. And largely these professional development programs, we revolve it around pedagogy, assessment and evaluation, subject enrichment, best teaching practices, and most importantly, sensitization sessions by counselors and special educators. Because that's again a very, very important that every class, there are children who may fall under special needs children or who may require counseling at some time or other. And teachers' support and cooperation in the classroom is very, very important. So we sensitize them. We also impart certain skills to them for counseling in a limited way. But largely this department is handled by our school counselors and special educators. Then again, classroom management and IT skills, which are IT has become such an important part in our day-to-day life as far as teachers are concerned. Then soft skills, communication skills. This is just an indicative list. In over 7 years' time, I think we would have got not less than 100 to 150 such topics. And in between, in one of the years, we had also conducted throughout the year a training program on communication skills. We had identified a trainer who would visit us twice a week in the afternoon once the school is over. And we had divided our staff into 2 different groups. So one day one group and another day another group. So whole year he has invested in developing communication skills of our teachers in written as well as spoken English both. And also, as far as resource persons are concerned for our in-house training programs, we look at our teachers also being developed as resource persons. And when we talk about these training programs, there is a lot of time that we invest in planning. And as Ranjana ma'am mentioned, need identification is so very important. This need identification we do largely from different indicators are there. So classroom observation, so we run through that, and from there also we identify which are the areas where teachers need some training, or we have one-on-one interactions of the teachers with the vice principal, HM, coordinator. So there also certain training needs are identified. Then notebook correction, question papers that they set, evaluation that they do, the result analysis. So there are many indicators which we use to identify the training needs of the teachers, and we impart into that. And while our teachers, we encourage them, we guide them to become resource persons. The point of view is that you may have 100 resource persons coming from outside and they all impart very good knowledge. But what is largely needed parallelly is that something that your own teachers need. Because we know where the shoe pinches and by how many inches. That we only know better. So through your teachers, through your leadership team of coordinators and vice principal and headmisters, whosoever is available in the school, we can also design this program, these modules, so that we address to the areas where we feel that our teachers require some training. And parallelly, while we do that, we are also developing certain future leaders in the schools. And when we plan these sessions, there are some sessions which are for the whole school together, where the 100 faculty members, they come together. Or there are sessions exclusively for pre-primary. There are sessions which are only for primary teachers. There are sessions only for middle school or maybe secondary or senior secondary, depending upon the topic of professional development. Also, while we do this all, we keep in mind that our administrative staff is not left behind, because they are also equally important. Admin plays a backbone to any school. They are not face of the school. But that backbone also needs regular enrichment, nutrition. So we also plan various sessions for them during our sessions in March and June. So we keep number of programs for our admin staff also, so that they also time to time they also undergo these training programs and enrich themselves, update themselves with latest skills, and that is how we look at it. While we talk about this professional development programs by the external programs, our teachers participate in the PD programs organized by COE, hubs of learning, Savodaya School Complex, and other schools in this area and external agencies. And before this lockdown started, around 150 programs, including COE, CBSE, that is what our teachers had undergone. And during this current year in the pandemic, 1,955 programs that our teachers have gone through, number of webinars they have gone through. And I think that is the commendable job that the CBSE has done. During this lockdown, the series of programs that they had rolled out for teachers undergoing training, and I think they all are quite useful, and our teachers enjoyed them a lot. They learned a lot from that, and we thank CBSE for planning those kind of sessions. And they're equally important and very important. I think almost all teachers from our school undergone a number of programs in that. Demonstration classes again play a very, very important role because peer learning is so very important. So we organize department-wise demonstrations and inter-department also. So say for example, science teachers. So science teachers, suppose a science teacher teaching class 7, she plans a demonstration class and all the science teachers across the school, they join that session, they see the live classroom teaching with the students being there. And these are the times where teachers try to bring out their best practices and demonstrate that. So again, sharing of best practices is happening. Then after the demo class, we organize structured review and discussion on this demo class. So again, the threadbare analysis is done in a constructive way, where the teacher gives her perspective first, that how did she plan this lesson and how much could she achieve and what are the areas that she could not achieve, or where does she find that she did not do so well, and followed by discussion by other teachers. Each one, they appreciate what was the best in that class, and they also contribute there that what could have been done to make it a better class. So that way, again, it's a sharing of best practices and learning by sharing, we do it there. And every teacher has to present at least one demo class in a year. We can do more than that. And the section-wise coordinators make sure that teachers are giving these demo classes, and our professional development coordinator, Mrs. Seema Latkar, she is also in this program there. So she plays very, very active role in all this. And we started these demo classes around 2 or 3 years back, and roughly around 100 demo classes that we conduct every year. And while we talk about these demo classes and sharing of best teaching practices, we also look at innovations happening in the classroom. I also talked about summer vacation reading. This we started from the summers of 2014, where an idea by Mr. Joy, who is manager for the school and senior vice president in Reliance, is looking after our schools, he is guiding us. So he gave this idea that why not give some educational reading for teachers in the summers. And that is how we started. So first year in 2014 and 15, we had given a compilation of articles which were revolving around pedagogy, subject enrichment, soft skills, various areas. And thereafter, we have been giving a personal copy of identified book to every staff member. We give it in the month of April before we close the summer vacation. So the assignment for every teacher is to read that book. Once they return, then we divide them into smaller groups, and then we divide different chapters or topics from those groups in those smaller groups. And each group has to make a presentation on the topics assigned to them, or the part of the book that is assigned to them, so that we ensure that everyone has read, understood, and then they're sharing their thoughts on the book. So again, it becomes a learning. So while we talk about professional development, we find that that is the reason that I added the term comprehensive there, that it is continuous and comprehensive training. Comprehensive in the sense that apart from those training sessions which happen with PowerPoint presentations and speakers coming in, there are many other things which form this system of professional development of teachers. And this reading, which is a fading habit, unfortunately, whether you talk about our teachers, you talk about our students, and reading is such an important skill. And slowly and gradually, with the media and the platform that are available with mobile and TV and all, slowly we are losing this habit of reading. So to rekindle, this is one of the initiatives that we have taken. Few more initiatives in this regard we have taken. I'll come to that. But I felt that this summer vacation reading is a very, very vital and very uniqueness to our training program for the teachers that we plan for the whole year. And the management, every year we keep a good amount of money in our budget for the professional development of teachers. Another thing, we have teacher portfolio. This teacher portfolio is again very important. Though there is no direct role that it plays, but then it is compilation of a teacher's work during the year. So every year, every teacher has to prepare a new portfolio. Once they complete it, they submit it to us. and then we give it back to them so that they can keep it with them, they can treasure, they can, wherever they go, in case some of them they leave our school, they can always carry with them. So these portfolios, they contain a brief profile of the teacher, sample lesson plans, best teaching practices, and then sample worksheets, the resources they have created, the activities they conduct, then review of the books and the educational articles they have read during the year, then report on the PD sessions and takeaways from them. And any additional responsibilities they held, they give a report on that, result analysis of the classes taught, and the task list. Every teacher has a task list. So they always refer to that so that they make sure that they are able to, that they don't miss out on anything. And while we talk about it, we talk about best teaching practices. I think Ranjana madam also talked about it. So I always tell my teachers that innovations are something which cannot be timed. We cannot say that today at 3:15 p.m. some innovation will happen in my class. It doesn't happen that way. So we also keep telling them that innovations, they happen spontaneously on any day, at any time in the classroom. Many times you know you have planned in innovation, many times it happens when you even do not know that you have done something different. Innovation is not necessarily a discovery, but it is doing things in a different way. It changes the perspective, it strengthens the learning. Because all the activities that happen in the classroom, these all are about strengthening teaching learning process, supporting learners, ensuring that whatever is being taught, they learn well. So we also tell them that once you come back from the class, have regular introspection being done. So if something strikes to you, today I have done something differently, note it down, because that could be an innovation. At least it is a best teaching practice, and it can also be an innovation. So again, teacher portfolio, when we talk about, is a part of the professional development of teachers. It is a very, very important tool, because while creating this portfolio, the teacher runs through each and every bit of creativity that she has made, or the training program that she has undergone, or the resources she has created. Because to prepare this portfolio, they have to review, they have to revisit whatever they have done during the year. And over the period, during the year, it is not that end of the year you create it. So simultaneously, as the year progresses, they keep on filing this. So when you do it, after conducting certain activities or creating certain resources or reading a book, to place a paper in the portfolio, you have to review it. You have to go back and revisit it. So that again strengthens the learning. Next is again sharing of best teaching practices. So there are structured department meetings where the transactions or the plans of the department for the coming week or the coming month, they are discussed. And around 10 minutes in every department meeting is devoted for sharing the best practices. So teachers brainstorm there. This is apart from the demo classes. Apart from demo classes, whatever they have been doing in the classroom, they bring forth their difficulties also sometimes. Okay, this topic I am not able to teach well, or maybe I am finding difficulty here. So those kind of things happen again when these discussions are happening. They are professional discussions. They are again adding value to our classroom teaching and professional growth of the teacher. So that is the reason the department meetings are also part of the professional development program, because the agenda that it revolves around is, apart from routine sharing of lesson plans and planning for the week, it has a lot more things to do there. Now coming to very important part of it, that is resource sharing by the library department. We have a library which is very rich in resources. I think around 20,000 books that we have, though we are just a 7-year-old school. And we have 2 beautiful libraries with around 2,800 square feet area for each one of them, and aesthetically designed. And the library team works a lot. While there are 4 or 5 people in the library who are there with us, and the entire team is dedicated and devoted to the one, supporting students by various library services that the library normally offers. Apart from that, they spend a lot of time in browsing various articles, going through different magazines that the library has received. So they identify the needs, they identify the articles that could be of use to our teachers, they compile, they circulate, and they leverage technology to reach the subscribers. That is, they use emails, they use the OneDrive, and then they are able to reach. There are many resources which are heavy in the size, cannot be shared on email. So normally now we have started sharing them on the server, and the link is being shared for last, I think, 5-6 years. We have created folders on the server, and then they share the files there, they save and they share with everyone. Some of the resources, there are quite a few things they do, but I'm just mentioning few of the services that the library offers, which we place under professional development program of the teachers. There is one email every day that they send. It is reading edition. Every day, some resource they share. It could be a book, it could be a wonderful article, it could be something related to classroom teaching, it could be something related to content, it could something that that makes a difference to a teacher. So every day morning between 8 and 8:30, this email is there in the mailbox of my teachers. So those who are interested, they go through it. So again, thing is that not sure that everyone reads or not, but we try to different means to ensure that all teachers, all the recipients, they receive it. Teachers and even admin staff receives it. But largely, when we share these kind of resources, it's all about you can take horse to the water, you cannot force it to drink. So there are serious readers, there are some less serious readers also, but everyone goes through them and they appreciate it. Second, again, every day or maybe depends upon the daily mails, we try to send it different educational articles. Around 7,705 articles were shared in last around 1.5 years to our teachers through this. These are apart from what we have shared the reading edition. Then we have a weekly compilation of educational articles. We call it as RFS-KK Libinfo. KK stands for Koper Kherane. So this is there since 2016. Initially it was monthly, and then later on, I think around a year back, we have made it weekly. So 101 issues and total 3,500 articles or more than that we have shared till now with teachers. And these are again hardbound copies of each and everything. It's kept in the library. So if some of them they are not comfortable referring to these resources on the mail, they can always visit the library, look at the resources, and then pick up whatever they want to read. In summer reading I shared with you. Then every day our computer teachers since 2018, they send an email every day, one tip how to use computers. It could be on MS Word, it could be about MS Excel, it could be about PowerPoint, it could be how to use the keyboard functions on various areas. These tips are being shared. Similarly, the English teachers share Know Your English. So every day one tip. Since 2015 we are sharing. It could be on grammar, it could be on vocabulary, it could be on syntax, it could be a usage of a word in different ways. So there are a variety of things. There is a scheme that they have prepared. So 6 days of week. Suppose Monday is about vocabulary, Tuesday could be about something else. So it goes according to that scheme. Again, purpose is that through this is not a directly you can say as a PD program, but certainly when you read these emails, somewhere it is affecting, somewhere it is impacting you. It is making a difference to your communication skills. It is making a difference how you are using the computers. Then these are the books that we had shared in last 5 years. How Children Succeed by Paul Taff. Then Divaswapna by Gijubai Badekar. I think this book was published in 1924 or sometime, and it's an NBT book. And I think every teacher must take time if you are not read. Divaswapna is something and very economic book published by NBT. I think some 25-50 rupees cost it is, but wonderful book. Every teacher must see. What we are talking today, activity-based teaching and creativity, innovation. I think Gijubai Badekar did it in those days when Britishers were ruling, and the kind of innovations at that time around 100 years back. So worth reading. I think every teacher must read this. Then Summerhill by A.S. Neil, Promise of a Pencil by Adam Brown, and Thank You, Mr. Parker by Patricia Polecco. And every year our librarians, now is the time when they will be sharing a list of books, around maybe 5 to 10 books, and then with the coordinators, with the entire leadership team. And then people will be going through that, and then we'll be identifying book that we'll be sharing with our teachers in the coming summers. That is what all about our professional development program. I thought I should keep it short and brief. And there are some suggestions for COE on this platform I would like to make. My experience in interacting with teachers in the school, in the interview when we see the candidates, I find that subject content knowledge, that is where I think many of the principals may agree with me. because we are finding this content deficiency with the teachers, the way the graduation and PG are happening today. So if COE can look at more and more content-based program, not only for senior secondary school or not generic, but if we can devise series of programs for every class, and these training programs that we plan, if we can have dedicated training programs for pre-primary teachers, primary teachers, middle school, because pre-primary and primary, I think the word primary itself says that primary is of utmost importance. This is the primary requirement. And there, a lot of investment we need to do in training the teachers, because if teachers are not trained there, the base of the students will be weak. And then that is how that progression happens to middle school and secondary school, and then teachers struggle. I think if some good training programs, COE can also look at it for pre-primary teachers, for the primary teachers, for middle school teachers, they are happening. And similarly, content-based for class-wise in every subject, because that is so very important. Normally, we look at primary teachers, if you see, not every school may go subject-specific teachers. Mathematics not necessarily be taught by a graduate in mathematics. Many times, we find some commerce teachers teaching mathematics or kind of thing also. Then assessment formats. My experience is that when we rolled out continuous comprehensive evaluation, whenever changes in evaluation are happening, though detailed circulars, guidelines are coming, but still every school has got its own interpretation. If there could be series of programs on the assessment formats. Another area I find is that designing of the question paper, marking scheme, writing purpose-based quality questions. Many times when teachers frame the questions, they want to test something, but the language of the question takes somewhere else. So I think that bringing focus to the question is very, very important. These are just suggestive things. I'm sure that Tarun sir will make a note of that, and whatever is possible, we would be able to see that. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much. And over to Rashmi ma'am.
Sir, if you can
Yes.
stop sharing the screen. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, sir, for your practical insight. I'm sure under your mentorship, teachers at Reliance Foundation must have a very great learning experience. And it is also a learning experience for all the participants present today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Teaching is the royal road to learning. Mrs. Khyati Dwarkadas is an experienced PGT, HOD Social Science, Gopi Birla Memorial School, Mumbai, who is action-oriented with strong ability to effectively communicate using technology, self-motivated, accomplished, and ambitious. Worked as a teacher in the senior secondary and secondary sections of the institution with over 2 decades, Mrs. Khyati Dwarkadas is a resourceful person for CBSE and a master trainer. Through constant professional development programs and innovative pedagogical practices, she has constantly upgraded and enhanced her skills and competencies. For her voluntarily selfless service and virtual training sessions during pandemic time, she has been honored by Certificate of Appreciation. I welcome and invite you for a presentation on training versus quality improvement in teaching learning process. Over to you, Khyati ma'am.
Thank you, Rashmi Rekha ma'am. A very good evening to all members of the Sahodai present here. I hope I'm audible. At the same time,
Yes, ma'am, you are
thank you. Thank you. A very good evening to Tarun Kumar sir, Head COE Pune, and Rajiv sir for inviting me to this complex. Just give me a second to share my screen, please. So, yes. I hope it's visible.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes. So thank you so much. And today, as you rightly mentioned, I'm going to be talking about training versus quality improvement in the teaching learning processes. So if you look at this picture, and I'm sure Rajiv sir remembers it well, when we take training programs across schools, we not only have people who come in from within the same school, but people from other schools, teachers especially from other schools, will also be joining in. And it's really nice to gain insights while we are taking a training program. And we also get to learn a lot of new things through these training programs, even if it's on the same topic that we are conducting a training on. So now when we've all realized that the National Education Policy 2020 for teachers has come in and is likely to be implemented shortly, we need to also see that understand that there are certain specifications in the policy for teachers. And it very categorically states that teachers truly shape the future of our children. So if you want to create a scientist or a skilled personnel or a doctor or another teacher in the future, you need to have some kind of training for the noblest profession in our nation. Only the very best and most learned became teachers right through the ancient ages. And society has given teachers what they needed to pass their knowledge, skill, and ethics optimally to students. The quality of teacher education, recruitment, deployment service conditions, and empowerment of teachers is not where it should be, and consequently, the quality and motivation of teachers does not reach the profession. Must be restored so as to inspire the best to enter the teaching profession. The motivation and empowerment of teachers is required to ensure the best possible future of our children in our nation. I'll need to pause here for a second, please. Yeah. Now, NEP has also focused on CPD, which most of the speakers before me have spoken on. And yes, in the CPD, each teacher will be expected to participate in at least 50 hours of CPD. And it shall also be in-house as well as external with the COE. And we are aware by now that in the last month or so, especially post Diwali, once Tarun Kumar sir has taken the lead, COE Pune has come up with a series of CPD opportunities for one and all. However, CPD will not only be regular CPD programs that we cover, but foundational literacy, numeracy, formative and adaptive assessment for learning outcomes, competency-based learning, related pedagogies, experiential learning, art-integrated learning, sports-integrated learning, and story-based approaches also need to be covered in the CPD. Then effectiveness of in-service trainings in schools can only be possible when everyone is involved in the implementation and planning of the CPD. If you leave it to only the STNC or the principal or some person appointed to look into it, it may not be as effective as when you get the teachers also involved in the planning and implementation. So a few factors that contribute towards the effective in-service training for teachers in schools would include the role of the administrator, where a very strong leadership is required. Normally, principals look into organizing training programs, but now fortunately since March 2020, as we are aware, STNCs have to be mandatorily appointed by schools. Now, administrators or STNCs should serve as role models By fully participating in the training activities, they should also be very categorically ensuring equal participation or an equitable participation to one and all in the school. Attitudes towards in-service training, one should always go with a very positive attitude for in-service training. Because the main objective of in-service training in school is to change the attitude and the work schedule of teachers. So not only to depend solely on the instructions or circulars that will cut down the emphasis of prescriptive culture. Teachers have to take on the role themselves. It is only through a team spirit and a feeling of ownership, accountability as a source of importance when they attend in-service trainings, and this will contribute to the effectiveness of the training program. Then, as we've seen earlier too, a need analysis for in-service trainings is mandatory. We just cannot send teachers to any random training programs. An effective in-service training must be able to identify systematically the needs of its employees or teachers or whoever is attending it. And many aspects have to be taken into consideration, which we've seen in Ranjana Jhangra ma'am's presentation. We've seen in Alok sir's presentation as well as in Rajiv sir's presentation, so I shall not go over it again. However, a need analysis should precede the planning and execution of a training program, and the administrator determines exactly what the staff training needs are before designing a program to meet those needs. Training need analysis is important to determine the objective and content of the training and to identify the teachers the kind of training they really need for their professional development and to improve their knowledge in many aspects. However, these trainings will not only enhance the professional development of the teachers, it will also enhance the learning and the teaching learning process in your classrooms. And therefore, it is very important to empower the teachers. And strategies of in-service training, time factor will affect the effectiveness of training. Sometimes when the training sessions go long or they're too long than a particular schedule, yes, it does get boring. Teachers will lose concentration. So just as in our classroom management programs from the CBSE, we say, we use this one strategy. The higher the class you're in, the fewer the minutes you speak. Let it be more interactive. It's a similar strategy that is used in in-service trainings. And if the in-service training is in-house, in particular, one must keep in mind that a lot of problems or a lot of insights of the organization in which the program is being held in-house are going to be looked into by this particular in-house in-service training. However, if the weekend is used up in keeping in-service trainings, there is majorly a negative attitude towards the in-service training, and the entire purpose of keeping the in-service training is sometimes lost. So the benefits, it boosts the efficiency and effectiveness of teachers, develops a sense of perfect behavior in the working strategies of the educator, widens the scope of educators. And you can list the benefits under a few headings like knowledge. Obviously, the person who's gone for professional development has gained in knowledge and in skill. If the educator is not enough to tackle a large number of learners, then his or her role does not prove satisfactory. So to develop skills within the mentor is this function of the agenda, which is the point of discussion where skills are enhanced in a CPD. Similarly, we have improvement in instruction and updating the mentors. So learners are influenced by lectures or instructions of the instructor. But if the instructions are not effective, then the instructors are not appreciated and are not able to conduct their role well. So guidance is being provided to improve the lecture or the instructor's quality under it. So this can also be one CPD. And updating the mentors, as many of you have already spoken before me, right from the time everyone's done B.Ed till the time today, so many developments and changes have been taking place in the teaching field in different sectors of the work area. So mentors should be updated enough to meet out the new emerging and developing generation. It's a training campaign of updating the mentors. Then we have a work culture, and different schools follow a different work culture, and how a trainer adapts himself or herself to the working environment is important. Therefore, a very tactical approach needs to be taken up in the CPD, and obviously the newer entrants need to be mentored well to get to fit into the work culture. Then we have performance of students. So someone's unmuted. Someone's unmuted.
Yashodan, you have to unmute yourself. Yashodan.
Thank you, sir. So when we talk of performance of the students, we need to understand that if the pupils, the students who are the stakeholders, the main output of our education system, if they are not able to understand the subject matter, then it is a drawback of the trainer. The trainer, the teacher should apply some effective teaching technologies to teach the students so that they perform well in studies, they become good human beings, which is our ultimate aim. And without continuous and comprehensive professional development, these are far-fetched targets. Then the environment also depends on the educationalist, how he or she is going to mold the environment of the workplace to his or her requirements. If the educationalist scolds and beats and uses corporal punishment, the whole environment is going to be disturbed. So a very tactful dealing of students without any corporal punishment, without scolding, without beating them, is a very, very useful, approachable environment, cordial environment. And to train our mentors into reaching here, we need to use these certain kind of CPDs for them. And with a lot of CPD, communication techniques are essential for the profession of the mentors. They can be analyzed on behalf of their communication technique. Communication developed a very, very strong agenda, because if teachers and mentors cannot communicate effectively in the classroom, then their entire role of standing there and facing the class is going to be a huge, I think task, more than a task, is going to end up into a tussle every single day. So I think I am going to be running short of time and based on the time given to me. So thank you once again, CBSE COE Pune and the Sahodaya School Complex MMR and OMMR, for giving me this opportunity to be presenting my topic on this forum. Thank you so much once again. Over to you, Rashmi Rekha ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your insights. It will definitely help all the participants to take a proactive approach like you, ma'am, towards training for their own professional development. Now let us see a video on teachers training practices at ELPRO International School, Pune, and may I request our IT team to proceed with the video. Vedika ma'am, sound.
Yeah, just checking. She's checking the sound. There seems to be a network issue. Because of that, the sound could not be relayed.
Okay, fine.
Right? Yeah. So we'll be sharing that. We'll share this link so that individual can see the video. We'll post it there. Rashmi madam, I think we should carry forward, and I think
Okay, sir.
you please invite Tarun sir, because we will follow this link so that others can watch, others can see. There is
Okay,
some
fine,
technical
sir.
issue with this. Yeah. Thank you.
So due to network issue, probably the video we cannot telecast right now, which the link can be shared. So let us proceed with today's webinar. Now I request Mr. Tarun Kumar sir, Head CBSE COE Pune, to give his insight on the training programs being conducted by CBSE COE Pune. Over to you, sir. A very great welcome to you, sir.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody.
Sir, very good afternoon.
Okay, so I congratulate you all for organizing this program successfully, and I wish that this being the first program of the year, this being the first program of the January 2021. So we will organize more of such programs in this year, which can benefit all the schools equally. So in beginning, I will wish a very happy new year 2021 to all of you and your families and friends. Especially thankful to Shri Rajiv Garg ji, who was a very instrumental in arranging this program. Miss Rashmi Rekha Saha, Shri Ganesh Paramsekaran, Shri Alok Katare ji, Shri B. Anil, Miss Palvi Mukherjee, Miss Raj Aloni, Miss Nandita Khanna, Miss Ranjana Jhangra. So till now, most of you were aware about that. What were the practices being followed by some of the schools. So this is on screen. I have shared the one of the file which Shri Rajiv could not display. Rajiv ji, is the file
जी सर
file up दिख रही है ना?
हाँ सर, yes sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So this is one of the important template which all should understand very carefully. So this is training need calculation utility. So this is basically Excel file in which school has to enter only his affiliation number, name, number of principal in the school, and number of teachers, number of coordinators. Means in the blue cells only school has to enter the data. Rest of all the data is auto calculated. So there are several sheets, like this is main sheet, utility sheet. Then one sheet is in-house 2020. In this, STNC can enter the trainings done by the teachers. So he or she can give the trainings done by teacher, in-house training. Then next sheet is in-house 2021. Then is principal training. Then is annual 2020. It's annual 2021. And triennial 2019. So basically this is a good Excel sheet developed by some of you good schools. So school has to do 3 types of trainings for its teachers. So it is divided in 3 parts. One is annual training, another is triennial training, and part C is in-house training. So for all these targets have been given in the affiliation bylaws. So this sheet will calculate the targets for each school according to the number of teachers in the school. So suppose in this sheet there are 18 teachers. So annual training as per norms, it has been calculated in A, column A. And what annual training has been done actually by the school in 2020, it will automatically take from the adjacent sheet of the Excel through a formula, and accordingly likewise it will take the data of 2021 from this in-house 2021 sheet. So school has an option to either maintain its record in a manual register or maintain in this record electronically by using this template. So I would request Mumbai Sahodaya to provide you this template. You can modify this template also according to your need, because if you are a new school, you have not done any training in 2020, you need not to bother about 2020 and you directly go for 2021. So likewise, if you have not done in any training in 2018, you forget that. So, but you have to maintain a record of each and every training done by the teacher separately. So you can see that Excel, and as per your requirement, you can maintain the data in this sheet. And another thing I would show you, which Rajiv was not able to show. So this was this is a template of a draft in training policy of a school. Most of the schools are not having any training policy. Management has not made any training policy for its teachers. But as per the CBSE norms, each school has to make its a training policy. So what STNC and principal will do, they will sit together, and if they are not having any template, they can use this template. And according to the number of teachers, according to the subjects they are teaching, they can make a training policy and get it approved by the management. So each school should have a training policy approved by the management, and as per the training policy, they can make a training calendar. Like this is a training calendar. So in the month of April, pedagogy of English for all teachers, and this is of in-house training. One column is of annual training, and other column is of triennial training. Means training calendar will include all three targets. Means in-house training, annual training, triennial training. So from for the whole year, it will be a rough plan how the school will go, how the school will send its teacher for the training, either in-house or by COE or by SODE. And this is a sample of another good school. So how they are doing their in-house training. So for grade 2-3, they are the training subjects they have given. So means they are maintaining the data in this format. Grade 4-5, number of teachers, name of training, completed, pending, grand total, percent completion. So they are maintaining this data in this format. I will show you another file. So this is in-house training calendar of one of the school of Kerala. Like in June, they had this experiential learning, in-house training for all the teachers, because principal was herself a resource person, so they have utilized that. Review on one of the questions asked by some of the participants was that who can be the resource person for the in-house training. So in-house training means to be provided in-house by the teacher of a teacher of the school or the principal of the school. We recommend all the schools to send few teachers for our regular training of the COE. So utilize those teachers who are trained by the COE and are so there, and then you utilize them for your in-house trainers. But if you are not having any teacher who is trained by COE or so there, you utilized any of our resource person or an expert in the field to give the in-house training. So one of the other question was asked was that what is the difference if we get our staff trained by COE Pune, Saude of our region, or by some private agency. So I would make it clear, you are very well aware that board question papers and evaluation are being done by the teachers who are working in CBSE schools. So if you are getting any training by any teacher or resource person who is working in CBSE school, which will be much better and beneficial for you in long run. So I would suggest you to utilize the resources available with COE Pune or a COE of other region or of Sahodeh for the training needs. So this is the file of in-house training. This we will like to share with all the schools. So school can take some of the clue that how these training calendars are being made and make their training calendars of this I have shared. This is the affiliation bylaws 2018, which Rajiv has already discussed. It has specifically mentioned that how much training is to be done by every school, like annual training, triennial training, and targets for annual training and triennial trainings are completely separate, like 16.1, 16.2, and 16.3. There are three paragraphs, and targets for these are separate. So school should not be confused between annual training and triennial training. The targets of these are greatly achieved. And many schools are asking that whether training done in Shiksha or Diksha portal is allowed or not. So in 16.1.3, it is clearly written that training done by Diksha or Swayam portal are okay and allowed as per rules is concerned. And it is written that with help of established teacher training institution. Established teacher training institutions means that either NCRT or SCRT. So there is one more circular. You should, all the STNCs and principals should know this circular, March 9, 2019. It is a very comprehensive circular, and it gives the trainings being done by the COE, and it's on the in para 12. It tells about the duties of school training nodal coordinator. That each school should have a training nodal coordinator, and what it will do, it will monitor the attendance of teachers in the training portal. It will get that annual training, this training plan for the school approved, and it will try to implement that annual plan. So these are some of the important documents. All schools should know what are the provisions in affiliation bylaws and what are the provisions given in the training circular, and what is the training policy looks like we have already shown, and what is some template of this in-house training calendar we have already shown. This document is very comprehensive document, and in this you will get a good help of developing an training calendar, including in-house training, annual training, and triennial training. So schools should take a clue and benefit from this information provided in this webinar. And some of the points I would like to add. Some of the schools are saying that whether we can attend the training being done by the other COEs. Yes, you can you are allowed to do trainings being conducted by any of the Center of Excellence of CBSE, and that it will be counted for all practical purposes. So I would end my words with this, and I would also like all of schools to join our CBSE Telegram channel, CBSE COE Telegram channel, and we are providing all the latest updated information on that. And some of the schools which we are saying that we are not able to attend the training because all the seats are full. So I am very thankful to all the schools who are now taking the trainings of COE Pune very seriously, and they are sending their teachers in quite large number to our trainings. But simultaneously, I will like to add that CBSE COE in association with Saudi will now do the mass training of the teachers in the areas where the demand is more. And we are not, if in case the COE is Pune is not able to do some training, then we will sit together. So they and COE will sit together and develop these programs which will fulfill the requirement of all the principals, all the schools, and those schools who are having any difficulty in developing the training calendars, in developing the training policy, in implementing it. So they will also be given expert help so that we will grow. We will, everybody of us will grow together. You are my brother, you are my sister, and you are my God. So I will do, I will give more than 24 hours to all of you in your development. So I am thankful to all of you, and I will pray to God that He should give us strength and energy so that we can all develop together and and ultimately serve the children who are our ultimate beneficiary for the development of society. Thank you all. Thank you everybody. If any questions are there, now I am there online. I will respond the questions. Thank you.
What a humble word, sir, that you have expressed. Such kind of patronage could not be seen, especially when people are working in a government agency where you spread the message of brotherhood and spirituality simultaneously when you are talking about the work proficiency and work ethics. So nice of you, sir. You have put the things in a very nice manner and in a very, very nice way. You have, sum up the whole scenario, the presentations which have been made. Sir, there is a question which has come. What documentary proof to be preserved after the training, very specifically when we are talking about in-house training? This is a question which has been put up. So can you please put some light on that?
So I have a copy of this page number 43 of affiliation bylaws. In para 16.3, it has been mentioned the entire training program is specified in 16.1 and 16.2 should be properly videographed and documented, including training participation certificate of teachers and records to be preserved and produced. So it clearly specifies that every training has to be videographed, whatever training you are doing. So in normal trainings like suppose COE Pune is doing some online training, so we are making a complete videography of that. We are preserving that. If Sahodaya is doing some training, Sahodaya is expected to do the videography of that. If school is doing something, so each school classroom of all the schools are having a CCTV. So they should conduct the training in a room which is having CCTV and preserve the footage of that 1 hour in a CD or something like that, which can be seen by some inspection agency. Of many trainings, like you are having several trainings in a year. So STNC have option to make a register like this in a conventional way. So they can write this training done, that training done, and whether we have met the targets, or they have an option of making everything on Excel sheet, just like a utility, just I have shared on the screen. So in the Excel sheet itself, they can maintain each and every record. If anybody will ask you, just send that Excel sheet. It will be quite convenient for you.
One more, sir, interesting question which has been asked somebody would like to be a resource person. So how the teacher can get an opportunity to become a resource person for training the teacher and very specifically in this time of pandemic when the online training is going on?
So I would reply the question in this manner that demand of training for the teacher is so much that we are not getting adequate number of resource persons. So we in association with the Sahodayas are planning to do the training and to expand the training in such a manner that all the teachers of the school can get sufficient numbers of teachers trained. So now the next comes to the selection of RPs. So we need the resource persons who are expert in their subject and have their communication skills so that they can train the teachers. So rather I am looking for the good resource person. The question is otherwise. It's not that they are. I am very anxious to get resource person, and everybody should join our Telegram channel. Time and again we are asking the requirement of the resource person, and we are collecting their sample video footage, and then we are in the process of analyzing those their biodatas and their expertise through some external agencies. So those who have applied, they should just wait, and those who have not applied, we will give them links. Tomorrow we'll send again host live that link, and they should but at least they should follow instructions. We require some biodata, we require some 5 minutes video presentation of their, so that we can analyze their skills. So hopefully, if you are the best, we are in a to hire you.
And of course, sir, I believe that the school nodal training coordinator can help in that matter, a lot.
Yes,
because
yes.
She or he can identify a good experienced person with good ability to communicate, and vast subject knowledge can recommend the name.
And hopefully, this is the Corona period. After the Corona period will end, we will require to do offline training in all the districts. So all the schools should be ready. They should identify which are the teachers in their district for all subjects. Because previously it was there that resource person for Nagpur was coming from Bombay. From Bombay, it was coming from somewhere else. Now, in order to complete the requirement of the training of all the teachers in all the districts, we require resource person in all districts in all subjects. So, demand of the resource person is in several hundreds.
Sir, another question which is coming, and it is quite pertinent question. Teachers, they would like to go for the training very specifically in this lockdown period. They want to go for a training, but they get only disappointment because the seats are full. They get the message on the screen, the seats are full, and they cannot be taken in. And many times it so happen that today the link is open, and within 2 days the link is closed. So how can these teachers be helped for getting trained on that?
Okay. So if we are working on that, but there is a shortage of time slots with the resource person, and teachers are now saying that our schools are open, we cannot do the training in morning hours, so we want to do the training in afternoon. So if we do training only in afternoon, so our half day is lost. So it is difficult to complete all the trainings in half a day. So gradually we will like to add more trainings, but in the month of this March, April, and May, our board examination are going to practical examination, then board examination will be there. So in these months, number of trainings, because teachers will be busy in that practical examination or our evaluation. So we will not be doing the training for those teachers, but still we would take the support of district training coordinators to take mass requirement of trainings. Like suppose your school is having requirement of 10 teachers, training of 10 teachers, and other school, adjoining school is requirement of 10 teachers. We want mass training requirement to be collected from schools. Like all 3-4 schools require the training to be done in a live skill. For those teachers who are not engaged in the board examination, we will club all those schools and we can do the training in morning hour itself. So basically we want to communicate more with the schools so that we can get their requirement. What is their exact requirement, and STNC and district training coordinator, we expect a lot from them, so that they can club adjoining schools and tell us that we want the training in this school, and we will do that.
Yes, sir. Besides this mass training kind of program, in fact, as you rightly guided, even Sahodayas, they can also be roped in. So the teachers who can enroll in the training program conducted by CBSE, COE, this fine. Otherwise, Sahoday can also take up some training programs in consultation with COE. Can take up some programs so that
definitely. Definitely, one thing can be done, that in those trainings which requirement is more. So because repeat training is always not possible for the CBSE, because it takes quite time for taking an approval. So if that is the scenario, we would always take some this repeat training if that Sahodaya is able to get that training. So
Yes, sir.
we together with the Mumbai Sahodaya, Nagpur Sahodaya, Pune Sahodaya, so we can do a wonderful work and fulfill all the requirements of the teacher. And I would request all the schools to prefer COE Pune or Sahodayas of our region for the training, because one of the reasons I will tell, because quite number of time I am getting this query that we have enrolled a training from COE Delhi and we have not get the links. So, but they are not able to communicate with those COEs. So it's better to get a training from our COE itself, so that, because you know that our communication is now fastest in all the regions. So we are communicating through Telegram, we are communicating through Drive. So we are now able to reach you in much faster manner than any other COE. But even if you are getting training from other COEs, far equivalent for you for training in CBSE.
Right, sir. So I think, and you have already defined the role of, the training district training coordinator also.
Yes.
So I think things are very well clear. And Rashmi ma'am, do you have any question at your end?
No, I think so that sir covered almost all the questions, whatever the queries, the common questions that we were receiving continuously, that whether the private agencies are permitted to take the training sessions, or whether schools will be able to adopt such kind of procedures. And also another question, also multiple times it has been asked that when the in-house training programs are conducted by the schools, whether the schools are required to provide the certificates or not to the teachers. Apart from, as Tarun sir mentioned about videography and the record maintenance. So are schools required to provide certificates to the teachers as well?
Yes,
For in-house, where teachers are only going to take the trainings, right?
Okay, in that cases also certificates are to be provided by the school, and some record has to be maintained of the training. And in para 13.2 of the circular dated 9th March, it has been clearly mentioned that in-house training programs with the help of teachers trained by the COE. So if the school is having any teacher which is trained by the COE, they should be preferred for doing that in-house training.
Yeah.
And another common question, it has been asked that how can training calculation template be procured from CBSE COE?
So one template some schools have made, this is the template. So we will circulate this template to some of the panelists, and they can test the template. If that template is working, so I would request the Mumbai Sahodaya to share all the documents which are commonly required by all the schools. Just this like template, the like annual calendar, so that the STNCs will have an option, will have some insight, and they can start this keeping the record maintenance of their training.
And also very nicely you have explained in your talk that Diksha and also the other CBSE portals which continuous training programs they are conducting, those are also included under those 50 hours of teachers training, right? So this is a very common question which has been asked by many participants and school principals. So if you can throw some insights.
Yeah, besides it, one more question is there, which I would like to add what ma'am has asked. Nowadays, lots of SMEs is also conducting, training programs. So these medium and small scale enterprises, they are also conducting some programs. So are those trainings applicable or not?
So if any institution is approved by the government agencies, so you can opt the training from that. But I would suggest to the schools to opt for a training in which trainer is either from COE or either from Sahodaya or from at least from a CBSE school principal. So that you can get because when you get a training from a CBSE expert, it will help the children, because that question paper and evaluation is being done by the teachers and the principal, not by some private agency.
Right. Absolutely right, sir. That holds true. The validity is more when it is coming through the people who are there in the field rather
Yes.
than people who are there in the industry.
Yes, yes. And if you feel that some resource person in private sector is doing wonderful, we will make him as our resource person, and we will get our training from him. So CBSE has already roped in many person who are not working in school, but we have made them resource person based on their capabilities, and we are helping the school in that way.
100%, yes, 100%. Yes, Rashmi ma'am, over to you.
Anything more? Any question you ask today itself, I am always here for you to reply any of the question. And PQQ board will make operational for 2-3 days so that we can collate all the queries and post in a FAQ format. And if required, we can have some another webinar for assisting the schools in detail.
100%, sir. Sahodis are always ready to have such kind of program which will benefit largely the teaching community and the student community. Definitely, yes. We are always there. And of course, as the theme is rising together.
Yes, yes.
Right? So when CBSE is there to handhold the things, so definitely we are there to help everyone out in understanding the total philosophy behind it and conducting the programs. Yes, over to you, Rashmi ma'am.
Anything more?
Thank you for your words of wisdom. It has been a constant endeavor of CBSE COE Pune under the guidance of CBSE headquarters New Delhi to bring quality improvement to ensure quality deliverance in the teaching learning process by upscaling the quality of teachers through professional development programs. And for this, a series of training programs is being organized every month by CBSE COE Pune, and other also COE, the other regional sections are also involved in this good resource development across India. I, on behalf of Sahodaya and at my personal level, thank you, sir. Thank you, Tarun, sir, for such a wonderful interactive session and for your painstaking efforts for the continuous professional development of the principals, teachers, and other stakeholders. Thank you so much. Thank you from core of my heart.
Thank you all.
As you have already addressed the common questions, so now it's my turn to the other areas where I have to formally pose this vote of thanks. The contribution made by each teacher is enormous in its own way, have the continuous professional development, keeps us aligned to the new changes. Teachers of Datta Mege World Academy have a beautiful presentation for us. So over to you, teachers.
Before Yashodhan is going to make a presentation, let me remind each participant there that the link for feedback is shared. So feedback cum attendance link is being shared with everyone in the chat box and on the YouTube chat box also. Please fill up the attendance and give your feedback on today's program, which will be shared with the CBSE COE Pune sir for his update also. And so that in case there more requirements are there, we'll try to have more, such kind of programs. Over to you, Yashodhan.
Thank you so much, everyone. First of all, thank you, Principal Rajiv sir, for giving us this opportunity to perform in front of so many well-known personalities we were unaware of. हम जिनसे पहली बार मिले. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Thank you, Tarun sir. We will end up this on a high note. Me, myself, Yashodhan, and my colleague, Abhay sir, will be performing the last song for you. So I hope you will enjoy the song. It's a motivational song, Tum Samay Ki Ret Par, which we are presenting now. I hope my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you.
This song is dedicated to Tarun sir and all the school leaders who are there contributing enormously to the field of education.
समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमान देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमान समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमान देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमान हंसते हुए हम सब लगाते चले आगे आगे बढ़ता चले जिंदगी का कारवां देखती तुम्हें सही देखता है आसमां देखती तुम्हें सही देखता है आसमां समय की रेत पर छोड़ते चलो निशान सबसे बेमिसाल हो तुम शाद हो सबसे बेमिसाल हो जिनके को बना दो जिंदगी का आशिया देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमां देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमां समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान समय की रेत पर छोड़ दे चलो निशान देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमां देखती तुम्हें सभी देखता है आसमां Thank you so much. Thank you so much. धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. Thank you, Yashodhan and the co-singer. Let me take this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Tarun sir, for your valuable guidance and encouraging words. It was a marvelous session from your side and it was so interactive and before even the session started, the interaction started. Generally, we find that after the webinars are going on, it starts, then only the interaction starts, but it started before that. So that's a great job done. Your contribution is bringing excellence and will definitely help the teachers of Maharashtra region. I express my sincere thanks to Alok sir, Ranjana madam, Khyati madam, and Pallavi madam for your valuable inputs and insights. These insights will definitely help the participants in their professional development. I thank you, Rajiv sir, for organizing this event and your valuable insights. This will definitely help participants to define their training policies, training calendar, and record maintenance. My sincere thanks to Ganesh sir, Raj Aluni madam, Nandita madam, and all Sahodaya members for their constant support and encouragement. Last but not least, I thank you, the IT team headed by Mrs. Vedika, supported by Mr. Kiran, and music department from Datta Meghe World Academy to make this program a big success. Thank you to all the participants who have joined us today in this training session. Thank you from core of my heart and on behalf of Sahodaya OMMR Mumbai. Hope to see you again in more such programs. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay connected. Goodbye and have a nice day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tarun sir. Thank you all members. Thank you very much for all your inputs. A very good feedback that we have received. Your feedback that we have seen on the YouTube is quite encouraging and quite motivating. Tarun sir, very special thanks to you. Special mention has come for you on the YouTube, chat box. That such kind of programs are really meaningful and really helpful for the participants, and very especially the new schools which have come up in Maharashtra zone. So thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful program, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was a wonderful session and so interactive. And you addressed each questions and the way you guiding, and there is a big change. We can see the change. So it's marvelous. Thank you so much, sir.